What up, though? Adriane Mayes, your AI cash story captain. A lot of people get into the whole process, the OfferLab Road to certification, right? They go into getting the certification, and then the main question I keep getting after I sign up, Adriane, what do I do next? Like, how do I actually have the traffic? How does it actually go to the next level? So, Russell Brunson has been amazing, a part of the AI Cash Story Dream Team. We're going to review the Traffic Secrets Masterclass that Russell Brunson has provides once you get certified. One of the VIP bonuses once you get started with OfferLab certification. Now, how long will this bonus be available? I don't know, but we're going to review it live, go through it together, and be able to connect with you in case you don't want to invest in the 4097 one time. So OfferLab does not have a charge to sign up. So get started by going to the link there on your screen to be able to sign up and get started with with just OfferLab in general. But what is OfferLab? What is the purpose of OfferLab? And it's a collaborative community and marketplace that allows you to network with other marketers and to be able to have affiliates and to be able to sell your product as an affiliate, be a content creator, be physical or digital goods. So you don't have to have a coaching program or something like that. It can be a physical product and be able to be a part of this marketplace. Now, what I found is at first you want to jump right into helping people, right? I want to go right into the getting people on the platform stage, which I was trying to do over the weekend. But what I found when I did that is a lot of people have questions. Adriane, okay, so once I get onto this program, on this platform, what do I do next? You create your super funnel. And even in creating the super funnel, you got to know how to do that, right? So what I decided, Adriane Mayes as your AI cash story captain, I'm taking on the role like Jared Goff did with the Detroit Lions. You gotta call the play, right? So call it a play, and so that you know how to run the play, I have to give you the information that I'm learning in regards to the certification to be able to help other people. If you want to do it yourself, or if you want to do it with help, you'd be able to help and grow your billionaire brand. So that's why we're doing the certification, the bonuses live. And right now we're on the Traffic Secrets Masterclass. And that way we're going to watch it together. Any notes or questions that you have, you can literally drop them in the comments, DM at Adriane Mayes on Facebook. And I will put my my direct DM link in the actual chat as well. But you don't have to do this alone. So, when you actually think about it, right? A lot of people try to do things by themselves, but you have a story. Everybody has a story, and helping people turn it into a system and tech overwhelm. It's not just a typical consulting call, because what I'm going to do is all of these different live conversations that I'm going through today with the trainings with Russell Brunson, a part of the AI Cash Story, coaching or what have you. I'm going to put them into the community, and I'm going to put it within the course. So that way, on your own time, you can watch these courses. You can see my insight and my input as I provide a review of the information within the actual platform. So you're not alone. You don't have to, you can ask questions. There's another place as well that's a school community with over 7,000 members in the school community. And you can post questions here as well, because those people that are actively trying to help you, like Pam L is amazing, Holly Bodell, like these Dr. Bessie has replied to, Paul has replied, Maria. So those people that are taking action, that are top of the leaderboard. And so those are the people I'm going to continue to reach out to. I'm on level 3, yay. But so I only need 2 points to level up, which is amazing as well, which will allow me to unlike the replays from Affiliate Strategies with Doug Bolton. Doug Bolton has been really active in helping people, and has even provided his affiliate program, just his post, his process, his mindset, and, just understanding this whole process. So if you're not on level 3 yet, you can't watch the replays, but he's still giving you information on how to be successful with affiliate with the OfferLab program. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into Traffic Secrets. Let's watch this here together, and then we'll be able to leave any questions in the chat. Let me put my DM or direct message at Adriane Mayes on this link here, and we'll go from there. So there's my link to DM me. Let's watch Traffic Secrets Masterclass, Russell Brunson, together.
Who is the person you are trying to get to come into your website? All right, welcome to video number 1 here inside the Traffic Secrets Masterclass. The first thing we're gonna go deep into is really understanding who is the person you are trying to get to come into your websites and your funnels. This is where most people make a mistake. Like, oh, we need traffic to my funnels. They start focusing on getting traffic versus stopping and like, who is the person you actually want? Because if you can really understand who that person is, then traffic becomes easy to go out and find those people and get them to come into your funnel. So we're gonna start right now diving deep into who it is that you wanna come into your world. Who is your dream customer? Understanding that. And then we'll show you guys afterwards, the next videos, how to actually get those people to start coming to your funnels in droves. It's gonna be awesome. So with that said, let's jump into video number 1 here inside of the Traffic Secrets Masterclass.
Funnel hacking live, get on your feet and welcome back to the stage, the man of the hour, Mr. Russell Brunson! What's up, everybody? Okay, I know what some of you guys are thinking right now. Is that really Russell on stage? I don't think I've ever seen him wear a suit jacket before. Kind of freaking out. Does it look all right? So some of the backstory behind this, because we all here start with the backstory, is the first 2 funnel hacking lives, I came in shorts and t-shirt and flip-flops, and that's how I rolled, right? How many of you guys were there for any of the early funnel hacking lives? Okay, after the second or third funnel hacking live, we had someone who came to his first funnel hacking live, joined our inner circle, and then he pulled me aside afterwards and said, Russell, you look really, really bad. I was like, what? And he's like, can I please take you shopping? I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is awesome. And his name is Bart Miller. And for those of you guys who know Bart, he's and so for the next Funnel Hacking Live, I'm like, sure, you can dress me. I don't even know what that means, but let's do it. And so like a month before Funnel Hacking Live, he took me shopping to stores that had names I couldn't pronounce, where the prices of like a pair of jeans was much as I spent on a car. And I'm like, this is insane. And so he dressed me for Funnel Hacking Live 2 years ago, and they did it again last year. And every year he tries to get me to wear a suit jacket. Every year I tell him no. And then this year he tricked me. He's like, what if this year I get you to wear a suit? I'm like, no, I'm not wearing a suit jacket. He's like, but what if we took the Funnel Hacker logo and we put it on the inside of the suit jacket? So I was like, if you can do that, I'll wear a suit jacket. And I'm here today wearing a suit jacket. So this may be the only time you see this happen. Bart said we should start a clothing line selling these jackets. We would buy a Funnel Hacker jacket if we start our own clothing line. All right, maybe there'll be a funnel for that in the future. Anyway, I'm so excited to be here. This whole, I can't believe it's been 2 days. How many of you guys have had like the most amazing experience of the last 2 days? How many of you guys feel slightly overwhelmed? It's good. It's a good feeling. You know, I value all of your guys' time very, very highly. I think I value people's time more than probably almost anyone on this planet, because I know how valuable my time is. Every second that I'm out with my kids, I want to make sure I'm maximizing with other things that are insanely valuable. Otherwise, I want to be with them. And so when I'm putting on something like this and putting it together, I'm like, I want to make sure that we give in so much value that like it just more than people can even handle. And so that's where the whole hashtag over deliver keeps coming from. Like, we want to over deliver. And I know sometimes we give so much, it's like it's overwhelming, and that's okay. Don't freak out about that. Your job right now over this weekend is not to try to understand and grab and absorb everything. Okay. The job, your plan right now this weekend is to sit back and listen to all the speakers and see the framework, start understanding and be like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. That's really cool. And start figuring out who are the people you resonate with. Who are the people that like their message was the one that clicked for you. Okay. Because some of you guys, like when I speak, you're like, I get what Russell says. And some of you guys are like, that guy talks way too fast. I have no idea what he's talking about. Right. It's been interesting throughout the event as each speaker speaks. Each speaker's had effect on different segments of the audience. It's really fascinating. I had some people who were like, Rachel Peterson was the best presenter I've ever heard. Other people like, Gabe's presentation was the best ever. Like, and everyone's got different presentations that they resonate with. And so look for that, because your goal is not try to capture everything here today and go back and implement all the things. It's to listen to all the things, have all the stuff come at you and be like, oh, that's a piece I need. That's a good piece I need. Okay, overwhelm comes when you try to do all the things you're learning. And that's not the goal. The goal is to give you a palette of here's all the stuff that you can be learning, all the stuff that's happening. And then if you look at that and say, okay, that piece makes sense for me and my business right now. Oh, that piece right here makes a lot of sense. Okay. And so look at it that way. You don't have to absorb and capture everything. In fact, if you do, you're going to be drowning under the weight of it all, right? It's listening for the pieces. And so some of you guys are in the spot right now where you've got a funnel that's working and you're like, I need more traffic. Okay. So this presentation is all about traffic, and
So I want to pause it right there. So the key with this is to make sure you listen to what works for you. So that was what stood out, because a lot of times when you get into these trainings and these courses or what have you, it's just a lot of information. So the whole idea is to, again, you want to listen. You want to take on the opportunity. Okay, so traffic is something that I need once I get my offer into the marketplace. How can I do this, and what actually resonates with you in regards to the framework? And so don't be overwhelmed. You don't have to do everything, but you do have to take action, and failing forward is what we're doing here together. So hopefully, you got that tidbit. So let's keep going.
That's the goal. Like this is the thing for you to be grabbing onto. Some of you guys aren't ready for traffic yet, and that's okay. I still want you to hear this presentation so you can listen to it, so you can start understanding the principles. So when your funnel's done, you're like, okay, now I'm at this point in my business where I'm ready to do the traffic thing. I'm going to go back and start trying to figure that part out. Okay, but don't stress out like I have to memorize all these things right now. That's not the way it works. It's not college where you have to like memorize everything and regurgitate it 2 weeks later on a test. This is you as the entrepreneur, you start understanding the frameworks. Okay, there's a framework for this, a framework for this, start understanding all the pieces. And then when you're ready and prepared for that piece, then you go deep into it. Okay, that's why I'm such a big believer in getting the recordings from the event. Because like some of you guys, it's gonna be like 3 months from now, your funnel's done. You're like, okay, now I want to go deeper in traffic. Let me go back and watch Julius's presentation and Russell's presentation and start figuring out those pieces and getting deeper into it. Okay. All right. So that's kind of my preface. Everyone by day 3 starts getting that feeling sometimes of just like, whew, there's a lot. And I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. I want you to be excited by that, knowing there's so much to do, so much excitement, so many things you can learn and experience and do and figure out. It's what makes this job and this business so much fun. All right. So I don't know if you guys heard or not, but over the last year or so, I've been working on a secret project. I'm working on a new book. How many of you guys have heard about this new book? Okay, so here's the story. So I started writing the book, Traffic Secrets, almost 2 years ago now. And I always encourage you guys to do. It's like, before you go and create something, it's like you're testing your material, right? So I started going to events. I would talk about traffic. I would do podcasts about it. I would do Facebook Lives. I started testing out this material and seeing what things landed, what things didn't land. Last year, Funnel Hacking Live, I gave a presentation about Traffic Secrets. And shortly after the event ended, I got to work actually starting on the manuscript. I started writing it. And it's been such a fun project. Also a very intimidating project. Traffic is one of the things that changes the most in the industry. And I was like, how do I write a book that's going to be evergreen for forever without talking about things that are going to be obsolete by the time this thing goes to print? And so that was a big undertaking. It took me almost a full year to get the book done. And when the book got done, we got our publisher and they said, hey, do you want to do this as a hardbound book? And I was like, yes, that would be insanely cool to have a hardbound book. And I was like, wait, if we have that book hardbound, I want all the books hardbound. And so we had a different publisher for the first 2 books of the paperback editions. And so I went back and I bought the rights back from them. And I said, and I asked the new publisher, Hay House, I said, hey, will you guys be willing to republish these books all as hardbounds? And they're like, yeah, that'd be cool. I was like, then we could do a box set. It would be like Harry Potter. It'd be amazing. I was like freaking out. It's like, cool, yeah, you could totally do that. And so we're getting down Traffic Secrets. And then I sent the manuscript to them and all the artwork and stuff. And they said, now send us the stuff for the other books. And I was like, well, I have a question. Now that I have a little window, can I edit a couple chapters and like add in a couple stories and stuff, and like just before I give it to you, they're like, oh sure, yeah, just don't do too much. I'm like, okay, no worries. So I got the whole manuscript and I started reading first the .com Secrets book. I started reading it and I was like 2 chapters in. I was like, oh my gosh, like I sucked at writing books 5 years ago. I was like, I didn't tell stories very well. Like I didn't I was like so frustrated. I was like, oh my gosh. And there's a lesson behind this. The lesson is that Russell 5 years ago sucked at writing books, but guess what Russell 5 years ago still did? Wrote a book, right? So I'm going through the book and I'm like, this is not as good as it could be or it should be. And I'm gonna make my little edits, but then I'm gonna see how deep it goes. And so the book started out at 58,000 words. I ended up deleting over 30,000 words and ended up at 94,000 words when all was said and done. So that's the new .com Secrets book. And then I slipped into the publisher. I'm like, here's the book with a couple edits. She's like, how much of it is edited? I was like, all the pages with words on it are new. Sorry. And then you can do the same thing for the Expert Secrets book. I'm like, no, there's no way. I wrote that like 2 years ago. I'm sure it's like almost perfect. I'm like, okay, cool, because we don't have time to get all these things done in time. I'm like, cool. So I get the Expert Secrets transcript. I start reading it. And about chapter 2, I'm like, this book is not very good. Oh my gosh. I'm like, well, they're editing the other books right now. They have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go deep into this hole and start working on it. And so the Expert Secrets book started at 60,000 words. I ended up deleting, I think, 35,000 words. And it also ended up, I think, 88,000 words or something like that. So they got kind of big. And then while we're in the process, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if there was like a companion book that we could use that somebody could go through while they were working on going through the 3 books in order. And that was an idea. And then Joy Anderson took this idea and worked on this project that ended up being a 650-page workbook to go with the 3 books. Which is insane. So Joy, a huge round of applause. Now, unfortunately, I don't have all the books for you guys here today, but I told the publisher, I was like, is there any way you can print 1 copy of the books in the boxes so I can show everybody at Funnel Hacking Live? And they told me no. They said that'd be way too expensive. They said literally it's going to cost you like $5,000 to print a one-off book of each one. So it's like $20,000 to be able to show it to everybody. I was like, I really want to show it to everybody. So I wrote a check and I got the first copy of the box set. Do you guys want to see it? Okay, here we go. Oh! That shot cost me $20,000. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Okay, here's all the books. They're all in the box set as well. The box set says The Secrets Trilogy. On the back, it says you're one funnel away. So the life you want, the marriage you want, and the family you want is going to be fueled by the businesses you build. And so the first is the brand new .com Secrets book that's hardbound. Tons of new graphs and images and doodles. Second is the new Expert Secrets book. Third is the brand new Traffic Secrets book. Ah! And then the last one is the Unlock the Secrets workbook. You have a chance to go through as you're going through these books. So when these, thank you. So my goal with this box set is for everyone, anytime you have a new business idea or a new company you're starting, or you want to go deeper and get your business to the next level, is to get a new box set, open it up, and then start at the very beginning. Start with .com Secrets, go through that, and then work through the workbook with that, and then go through the Expert Secrets, then Traffic Secrets, and the workbook you'll go through will help you flush out your ideas and get all the pieces to figure out what's your value ladder, what's your offer, what are your upsells, your downsells, are you getting traffic, who's your Dream 100, like all those pieces you'll build inside here. And by the time you're done going through the set, you'll have your entire business plan, blueprint, and everything done. And then you can go launch that company. And then you can start the next one, go buy another box set, do it again. And you just buy box sets every month or so, because the more you buy, makes me feel better about myself. So my status goes up, right? Anyway, so that's the secret project I'm working on the last 12 months. It's been a lot of work, and I'm so proud of it, and I cannot wait. Pre-launch starts in March. We're starting pre-launch, and then May 5th is when the boxes start shipping out to everybody. So I'm excited to get you guys all this new information in your hands. So anyway, I just went to that story because I'm so excited. So thank you. All right, so my plan over the next, oh, by the way, all those books were written while we were doing all this other stuff. We're juggling, anyway, it's so much fun. All right, so my slides back up. So what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna go through some of the frameworks inside of Traffic Secrets book. Obviously, this book is 96,000 words, so I can't go through all of them in the next 45 minutes, but I wanna give you guys some of the foundational ones to get your minds thinking, and so that by the time you get the book in your hand, you'll be able to geek out and start running with me really fast. Cool? Okay, so I'm gonna go through 2 of the core frameworks. The first framework is called the Dream 100. The first section of the Traffic Secrets book is all about the Dream 100. And then section 2, talk about fill your funnel. This is how you can go into any new platform and get traffic. So I don't care if it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, Pinterest, Twitter, like whatever it is, it's like, here's the framework, here's the pattern to get traffic from any of these platforms, okay? And the nice thing about this, and I'll talk about this as I get deeper into it, but the reason why I wrote the book this way is because we have no idea what's going to happen next week or next month. Facebook could disappear. Zuckerberg could be shut down for the monopoly that he's building, which I support fully. I love him. I'm grateful for him. Don't turn off my ads, please. So I'm grateful for that. But who knows? Facebook could disappear. It could shut down. We had new platforms like TikTok coming in. It's like, what in the world? TikTok wasn't even a thing as I was writing this book, and now it's here. Okay, and there's some smart marketers who are using this exact same framework right now to jump in and dominate it, right? Rachel Peterson is the TikTok queen already. She's killing it, and she's following the same kind of process. And so I'm going to walk you guys through that as well. So that way, as you step into any platform, you know the process and the framework to do to be able to be successful in there. Does that sound like fun? Okay, so this is the first framework we're going to is the Dream 100. For a lot of you guys, this is going to be a review. I'm going to go over it kind of quickly. I'm going to spend more time on the second half, but it's such a core fundamental piece of the entire picture. I want to make sure I spend a little time on it right now. Okay, so the first thing is you are figuring out how to drive traffic. It all comes back down to this. Who is your dream customer? Okay, and this is like such an essential piece of it. And I wish that somebody, when I first started my business, would grab me by the ears and said, Russell, Stop trying to create new products. Try to figure out who your dream customer is first. Okay? Because I was 6 years into my business, and I was laying in bed. I woke up one morning and I realized I hated my company. I didn't hate the people that worked for me, but I hated the people we were serving. How many of you guys kind of don't love your customers right now? A couple of you guys are willing to admit it, okay? I woke up that day, I was just like, I'm miserable. I remember laying there in bed saying, I wish I had a boss so this person could fire me because I do not want to go to work that day. It's because I was creating products and customers were coming to me. And I had this realization, like, I need to first figure out who is my dream customer and then create the products that will actually attract them. Okay, and so I spent some time doing an exercise trying to figure out who are my dream customers. And I won't go too deep into that, but the basic gist is I really being clear on that. Who do I actually want to serve? What do they look like? How do they act? What are they doing? And I got super crystal clear on exactly who my dream customers were. Okay, and this exercise I did about 6 years ago. Okay, how many of you guys have been drawn into our community and our world in the last 6 years? Every single person who I've brought to this event, this is their first time, is like, this audience is different. These people are crazy. Like, this is not like a normal business event. This is like a rock concert, right? Okay, that was strategic by design. I was going to marketing events and I was like bored out of my mind, sitting in the back sleeping. Like, how is everybody so bored? Like, I want to attract the kind of people who are going to be passionate about this. Who are going to wake up at 5 a.m. and line up outside because they're so excited to learn some more stuff. People aren't sitting in the halls talking. They want to be in the room because they know that the best stuff's happening right here. Like, those are the people I want to attract, right? And so it started there, figuring that out. So for you guys, you got to figure out exactly who it is you want to serve. That's the first step in business, not the last, okay?
So I'm glad that we started with that because, again, when you figure out who your dream client is, it doesn't feel like work. So so interjecting before we go to the next video, the whole idea is to know the platform and who is your dream customer. And you're being able to take notes for this. And when you do that, you want to create products that will actually attract them, right? So for myself, AI Cash Story Captain, for my digital marketing, I help CEOs, coaches, consultants, creators use their story, AI webinars, and OfferLab to build their billionaire brand. So I love my live virtual conversation series on Tuesdays, where I'm able to talk to people about their authentic story and being able to discover who in the insights from different experts in understanding their story and their storytelling. Like, for example, this Tuesday, being able to have a you can't see my screen. This Tuesday, having Dave Turner on. It's not what you earn, it's what you keep. Tax Secrets, God's Will, and my son Josh's health journey. I am excited to hear this story. Almost 20 years ago, we crossed paths as I was managing the Chris Bosh Foundation. Chris Bosh, NBA Hall of Famer 2 times. My cousin is amazing. And Dave, we were actually introduced with his coach from the Toronto Raptors at the time, Sam Mitchell. And he was trying to introduce different tax strategies to help people, high income earners, called gifting to gain, to actually save on their taxes. And so over 20 years, still kept in contact or what have you. I'm excited for this live virtual conversation. But Dave's story is not just about tax reduction and actually talking about taxes. He has a story about his son, and that's how we got reconnected. Talking maybe a few months back about Josh's journey and reigniting his mission to get back into doing his business because he was in the Josh was in the ICU. He's a miracle, and now is at home working through growing in God's blessings. So I'm excited for that live virtual conversation tomorrow, and excited to bring him how to bring more traffic to the gifting to gain, his whole idea. And then tomorrow I'll have a special for my live Random Acts of Kindness birthday series, Q-Tip, William Pilch, the rebirth of spirituality and the power of reinvention, and loves that we have a connection with AI and personal growth. We're in the training camp to build our souls and a love school together and loving on ourselves. And I'm honored to talk to him tomorrow, this creator, artist, writer, dreamer, author, and to be able to bring more traffic to these individuals. Q-Tip quit taking it personally, and how his whole 4 decades, of Christianity and Islam and exploration, and where his faith, humor, and creativity comes now, leveraged with AI. This is what Adriane Mayes is here for. The AI Cash Story Captain. I love my virtual conversation series on Tuesdays. And so helping people share their truth in a way that builds trust and builds their brand, and being able to, help others do the same. So that's when I was watching this training yesterday. And I got the whole idea. So what if I'm able to do the same thing with OfferLab? So my thought was, okay, so if I had that virtual live conversation series, what if I do the same exact concept with people that raise their hands and be able to tell their authentic story? What excited them about OfferLab? What actually, what direction they're deciding to go into as the beginning of this program? And if they do have an OfferLab super funnel, to share that information as well. So because I enjoyed my live virtual conversation so much. I mean, the Random Acts of Kindness birthday edition was such a blessing for me because I was able to interview so many people, leading up to my 46th birthday, September 6, 2025. So with God putting that on me, I was able to realize my passion, right? Helping people, growing in this digital marketing space and helping as many people as possible grow and build their billionaire brand. So what OfferLab and this opportunity does for me, is to provide this platform of over 7,900 people that are currently trying to build their brands on OfferLab with either one portion or another, as an affiliate, as a creator, as a broker, as the super funnel maker. But having this marketplace of all these different entrepreneurs, it does nothing but excite me to be able to help people, as well as, your time is your most valuable asset, and to invest in yourself as well. So let's go back into traffic secrets, because now that's the next part of the actual stage, right? Once you figure out what you want to do, you want to actually go to the next video and find.
All right, welcome to video number 2. So now you know who your who is. The second question is, where do I find those people? Where are they at? Okay. A lot of people come to me and they're like, how do I generate traffic? Right? How do I create traffic? And the reality is you don't have to create traffic. Traffic's already happening. It's online. Your job is to figure out where your dream customer's at. Where's that traffic already at? And then get in front of those streams of traffic to get those people to come to you. It's actually a million times easier than what most people are thinking. So that's what we're going to be talking about during this video here inside the Traffic Secrets Masterclass.
Second step, after you know who they are, then you got to figure out where in the world are those people actually congregating. Okay, the magic of the internet and why we're able to have success and build companies so fast is because people online, they already self-congregate together based on similar beliefs and values and things that they love. Think about in your personal life, the things that you're super passionate about, right? We all have those things. Okay, so for me, the things I'm passionate about, I'm obviously passionate about marketing and sales and business. I'm passionate about entrepreneurship, personal development. I'm passionate about biohacking. I'm passionate about supplements. I'm passionate about wrestling. I'm passionate about the LDS church. I'm passionate about a lot of different things, right? These things that I love and I care about. And if I think about my life, if I step back, I'm like, where do I spend my time on the internet? I'm usually tapping into some of these communities, right? I'm going hanging out with the marketers over here. Then I'm going to hang out with the wrestlers over here. I'm going to hang out, and I'm hanging out in different spots based on the things that are interesting to me, right? And all of you guys do the exact same thing. So start thinking, like, where are the places I'm already congregating based on the things I'm excited about, where I'm finding my tribe and my people, right? Okay? And so that's the question then, is now I know where I'm going, like, where are my people, like my dream customers, where are they already congregating? If I can find those people, I can throw my hooks out in front of them, I can start getting them, okay? And so that's the second thing. Who's my dream customer, and then where are they hiding? Where are they congregating? And then you just got to go find those people, okay? I've shared this example a ton of times. One of the most simple ones, then the time I really got it was when I was at Boise State. It was my junior year in college, and I was just learning this whole marketing thing. And I remember traffic to me seemed like this magic trick, right? I kept trying to figure out, how do I create traffic? How do I create traffic? And I remember I had a mentor at the time. His name was Stephen Pierce. And Stephen Pierce said, no, you don't understand, Russell. You don't try to create traffic. Traffic's already there. You just have to find the existing traffic streams. They're already happening, and then just step in front of them, and the traffic will come to you. I was like, I don't have to create traffic. No, just find it. Don't create it. Go and find it. And I'm sitting there in study hall. My junior year, I was wrestling, and all the wrestlers struggled at school. Most of us were on the list every single week, saying like grade checks and things like that. So we had mandatory study hall 2 hours every single night for all wrestlers. And so every night after practice, we'd go and then we'd study hall for 2 hours, and we're supposed to be doing our homework. I remember looking around as I was doing my homework, and all the other computers, all the other wrestlers were all on the exact same website. We were all on the mat.com. And all of us were there, and we were in the forums. We were talking about wrestling, and we were talking about who was good wrestling, who this weekend, and the matches. And we're talking about just all the stuff about wrestling, right? We're geeking out. And I was looking around. I realized that of the 30 or so wrestlers in the room, probably 18 of us were on the mat right now, not doing our homework, talking. And then I jumped in the forum. I started looking there. I was like, there are hundreds and hundreds of people live right now, all talking about these same topics. I was like, there's probably people in every single wrestling community across the country, every single college has wrestling, every single high school, all around the world. They're all coming together on our little corner of the internet, where all us wrestlers can hang out and have some fun. And I was like, if I had a wrestling product to sell, where would I go? How would I create traffic? I don't need to create traffic. I just find the existing traffic. It's all right there. All of them there hanging out. I'm just coming here and putting my hooks out in front of it. Okay. So that's why this traffic game becomes easy when you start looking at it differently. It's just all I got to do is figure out who's my dream customer, where are they at, and then how do I throw my hooks in front of them. Okay. That's really traffic when it's all said and done. There's little tactics about ways to do better and worse, but for the most part, that's the game. Okay. It really, really is easy. Okay. So let me jump in the framework now. So the first step in the framework, now that we understand who's our dream customer and where they're congregating, the first question I start asking is who has already congregated my dream customers? Okay, who are those people? What are the places? What are the blogs they read? What are the email lists they're on? What are the forums they're a part of? What Facebook groups are they on? What influencers they follow? Like where are all the different places they're already currently congregating? And so we build a list. And I like building a list. Back in the day, I didn't understand how different each platform was. So I just had a huge list of like every single person's thing. Over the last probably 3.5, 4 years, we've gotten very good at breaking down, saying, okay, who are all the Dream 100 on Facebook? Who's already congregated my dream people on Facebook, on Instagram, which podcasts they listen to, and we break it down by every single platform. Okay. How many of you guys have already built out your Dream 100 list so far? Okay, so maybe 10% of you guys. I literally have talked about Dream 100 every presentation for the last 15 years of my life. So that means for everybody else who's not paying attention, this is step one. Okay. When we were launching ClickFunnels, the 2 weeks before ClickFunnels launched, Todd and Dylan flew to Boise, and we sat up all night, and they were coding ClickFunnels, right? They were sitting up all night drinking Red Bulls, doing all this stuff like coding. And then me, who I'm the non-technical co-founder, I have no technical abilities whatsoever. I'm sitting there and I want to support them. I'm hanging out. I'm like, what do I do? I got to do something. So guess what I did for 2 weeks, all-nighters for 2 weeks straight while they were coding, trying to get ClickFunnels live. I was doing this. I had a list. All right, who else on Facebook? Who else on Instagram? I started making this list, and I was calling them. I was contacting, getting to know them, sending them packages in the mail. Like while they were coding, I was doing this. Okay, that's how much value this is. Like this is the most important thing you can be doing if you want to get attention into your business. Is figuring out this. Who's already got your dream customers? Okay, so that's step number one. We got our dream customers. After we know who they are, then we go through two different processes. Number one, we're going to try to work our way into those groups, and number two, we're going to try to buy our way in. I'll break those down next. Okay, so step number two. Now we know our Dream 100 is, now we got to work our way in. What's interesting about this is we see this every single day in the real world, yet for some reason we dismiss it and we forget about it online. Think about how many of you guys watch late night talk shows? How many of you guys watch early morning shows? Okay, if you notice, every time there's a new movie comes out, guess what they do? They take the actor and the actresses who are the big names or whatever the show is, and then these people start going to the big shows, right? They go on Ellen, they go on Today Show, they go on The Morning Show, they go on Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, and they're going out there and they're promoting their business. They're working their way in, right? They're talking about this weekend the show's coming up. They tell you about the show and they talk all about it. They show a quick clip from it, and they this weekend go and watch the show. It's going to be amazing. Okay, all Hollywood's doing for the week leading up to the premiere is they're working their way in. They're sending out their attractive characters. They're putting them on the road. They're making them go from interview to interview to interview to interview. They're on TV. They're on radio. They're on podcasts. They're on everything. All promoting shows about to launch. Okay, if Hollywood does that's the same way we should be doing it. So if you got a funnel that's going live or it is live, this should be our jobs. How do we work our way in? How do we go out there and we earn this traffic? Okay, let's go to our Dream 100 and figure out how we can work our way in. Okay, if you listen to Julius Dean yesterday when he talked about how he got his videos viral, how did he do it? He made some content, contacted people to see if they share, made some content, boom, he was working his way in, and now he's 6 million followers. Okay? Like that's the magic, you're working your way in. So I go back to my Dream 100 list and start looking at all these people, and we're not gonna be able to work our way into all of them, but which people are there that I can start working my way into. Okay? And sometimes one of the mistakes people make, and I was so grateful Julie's talked about this yesterday too, is they come in like, okay, I'm gonna get Tony Robbins to be my Dream 100. That's I only have one Dream 100. If I can get him, I'll get everybody else. And they start going after Tony, or whoever, or after Russell, after whoever the big dog is. And the problem with that is that the big dog's not going to pay attention to you at first. Okay? But Julie says that I found people on my same level, right? And I did collabs with them. And then their fan page grew, mine grew together, and then they're bigger. And I could go after bigger people. And then we shared, and we got bigger and got bigger. And eventually, now Julius is the man. Like he literally shared a thing on stage. It was like, I'm on stage at Russell Brunson. I had like, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 people follow me yesterday from his Instagram because he's like, hey, I'm here with Russell. Like crazy. Thank you, Julius, by the way. That was amazing. So you should tag me more often. In fact, all of you guys should tag me more often. I appreciate it. Anyway, so we're working our way in, right? So we're figuring out, okay, how do we work our way in? And that's in every platform is different, okay? You can go, someone that's got a huge blog, go to them and say, hey, can I write a guest blog post? Let me do a guest blog post. If someone's got a big podcast, so like, hey, I've got a really cool show I did. You want to interview me on your show? Video collabs, shout outs. There's all these different ways to go into your Dream 100 and figure out how do we work together where I can work my way in to get access to your audience. Okay, this big stream of traffic's already here. How do I work my way in so I can step into the stream of traffic and get a piece of it as well? Okay, the first 10 years of my business, I didn't pay a single dollar in ads. 100% of my business came from this, working my way in. Okay, I have a lot of people like, I want to do a funnel, but I can't because I have no money for Facebook ads. Neither did I for 10 years. 10 years is all I did is work my way in, work my way in, work my way in. Okay, same thing for you. Like, you don't have to have money to get to launch a traffic campaign. You just have to have time. And some of us have more time than money, and some of us have more money than time. So depending where you start is going to be based on which one of those things you have. If you have more money than time, focus first on buying your way in. If you have more time than money, then focus your efforts on working your way in to start with. Okay. All right. So now we got traffic. We're earning our way in. Now we're shifting to traffic that we control. This is where we buy our way in. Okay. And this is simply going to our Dream 100, right, and buying paid ads to their followers. And we're throwing hooks out in front of them. Okay, so if I know that Tony Robbins is on Dream 100, he's not going to let me do a podcast interview with him, but I can target his followers on Facebook or Instagram. I can throw my hooks in, I can buy my way in, I can start pulling people out of his pond and pull them into mine as well. Okay, and step number 4, the whole goal of all of traffic building is to get people onto your own list. That's the big secret. Okay. The reason why ClickFunnels has grown is we're doing a whole bunch of stuff to we're buying ads everywhere. But if you notice, all of our ads are focused on something to get them to give us their email address. So now they're on an email list. Okay. Most of this room was not filled by paid ads. Most of this room was filled by people who clicked on a paid ad, came to something, opted in. We were able to send emails for the last, year, 2 years, 5 years from you guys. And the emails were what pulled you in, right? The email list is the biggest value in your company. That's when you own your own traffic. And that's the key. So as you look at this Dream 100, this framework as a whole, our goal is to figure out who our dream customers are, where are they congregating, who are the Dream 100 that already have them, and then we work our way in and we buy our way in. And the goal from both of those is to get people to join our list. Okay. So if I'm buying ads, I'm saying, hey, here's a cool ad. Here's my free framework. Come opt in to get a free framework. They come from the traffic I bought. They give me the email address. Now it's traffic that I own. Okay. If I'm on a podcast interview, I do the interview with the person. I try to help as much as possible. At the end of it, I'm like, hey, if you guys want a free copy of my framework, go to blah.com and get my free thing. Right. And so I'm just pushing people from both sides of these things into a spot where they can join my email list. Okay. I'm going to show you guys an example of that here in a second, but that's the goal. Okay. So basically section 1 of this book is that. Actually I do have a really cool case study to share with you guys right now. I listen to a lot of podcasts. My 2 favorite podcasts are Mixergy and Business Wars. If you guys aren't listening to those, they're amazing. Mixergy is Andrew Warner, and he interviews a startup founder 2 or 3 times a week about their whole startup story, which is really, really fun just to hear just tons of people's startup stories. And then Business Wars. Who here has ever heard of Business Wars? Oh, for the rest of you guys, I just changed your life. Okay, so Business Wars is it's like an actual show. So they pick 2 companies in history that had a business war, and they make like a 6 to 8 episode podcast series, like a radio show, telling the story with like actors acting it out and sounds and all sorts of stuff. So they have like Coke versus Pepsi and tell the whole story. Nike versus Adidas, they tell the story. Mac versus PC, like all the amazing business wars of all time are in there, and they tell the stories. And it is so good. You guys will be obsessed with it. It literally should be like history class for kids. Like you should just pull your kids out of school and then make them listen to Business Wars. They'll learn history and business and a whole bunch of it is that good. Anyway, so I was listening to Mixergy, and all of a sudden there's a guy that pops on the interview, and it's this guy right here. Okay, his name's Jordan Harbinger. Anyone here ever heard of Jordan Harbinger? Okay, so I'm listening to this. I'd never heard him at the time. I'm listening to this thing, and Andrew's interviewing him, and Andrew's like, so Jordan, tell us the story. So you had a podcast that was getting like 6 million downloads a month. It was called the Art of the Charm. He's like, yeah, this podcast was the biggest podcast on iTunes. We were huge. And then me and my business partners got a fight, and they kicked me out of the company. And now I don't have a podcast. Oh, he was the host. He was the face. He was everything. And overnight, that fast, boom, he lost one of the biggest podcasts in the world, just gone. And he's like, so right now I'm launching a new podcast. It's called The Jordan Harbinger Show. I'm going to go and be on a bunch of people's podcasts and tell my story, and hopefully people come listen to me over here. So he was on Andrew's podcast. And then I started noticing all the podcasts I listened to, Jordan Harbinger was on the first one, then the second one, the third one, the fourth one. And soon I heard him on like 30 or 40 different podcasts. I'm sure he was on a whole bunch of other ones I didn't know, going around, working his way in. Every single podcast at the end of the interview, you say, hey, if you like this content, I have a show called The Jordan Harbinger Show. Go to iTunes and go subscribe to it, and you can listen to me there. I was like, how fascinating. This guy who just lost everything, the biggest podcast in the world, first thing he does to grow his podcast is what? Works his way in. He just says, okay, I know people listen to podcasts. I'm going to find every podcast listener, and I'm going to go on their shows. I'm going to talk. And he did that. Okay. And he starts driving all the people to the show that he owns. Okay. Then like 2 days later, I'm listening to Business Wars, and I get done with one of the series. Each series, like again, 6 or 7 episodes. I get to all of them. And all of a sudden between the next Business War, there's this little short, like 10-minute episode I'm like, that's weird. I've never seen Business Wars do a 10-minute episode. So I'm like, what is this? So I listen to it, and it pops on and says, hey, us here at Business Wars love listening to other podcasts. One of our favorite podcasts is called The Jordan Harbinger Jordan Harbinger Show. It's brand new, and you should go listen to it. In fact, I'm going to show you some of our favorite clips from the show. And it's like 5 or 6 minutes of like these different clips that Jordan from his show, and they keep doing call to action for each clip. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm listening to this, and I realized Jordan went to Business Wars, and he paid to get his podcast on there. Okay, he paid there, and he started buying his way into the big podcast as well. Okay, because Business Wars is not going to do an interview with Jordan Harbinger because that's not their business model. They're telling stories of businesses and history. So he bought an episode right in the middle of one of the biggest podcasts out there, both pushing to the Jordan Harbinger show. So I'm watching this in real time. I'm like, this is insane. This is so crazy. And so as I was preparing this presentation a couple days ago, I was like, I wonder how this whole exercise worked. You went from have a podcast that was getting 6 million downloads a month to having nothing, starting from scratch. And so I started research, started finding, and I found an interview he did 3 weeks in the Jordan Harbinger show. And within 3 weeks, he had over 1 million downloads of his brand new podcast. Is that crazy? He's doing the thing we're talking about. Work your way and buy your way and find your dream 100. Work your way and buy your way. And like, that's the game over and over and over and over again.
So that was amazing, right? So what that showed you, you have to do the work. Like, there's no way around it. And when you, the Business Wars podcast, I wanted to be able to show that real quick because that was my first time hearing about the Business Wars podcast, and being able to, like, Netflix versus HBO, Nike versus Adidas, businesses war. Sometimes the prize is your wallet or your attention. So the outcome of these battles shapes that we buy and how we live. So Business Wars gives you the unauthorized real story of what drives these companies and their leaders, innovators, investors, and executives to new heights. So it's hosted by David Brown, former anchor of Marketplace, from Wondery, the network behind Against the Odds and American History Tellers. So I wrote that information down in my notes to be able to go back and like, hey, Business Wars, good idea. So, that way you can learn from people's mistakes and be able to build your traffic. And like you were saying, building that Dream 100. So drop in the comments for me if you actually built your Dream 100 before, and how to do that is literally like he's describing here. So let's keep going.
Right, welcome to video number 2.
So let's keep going. And our next thing is the next video.
All right, welcome to video number 3. Now that you guys understand the core foundation of traffic, now I'm going to start showing you guys how to go to any advertising network and actually dominate it, whether it be Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Google, YouTube, like any platform that'll be successful. And if you understand the core strategies and principles behind it, it gets really easy to actually go and get those traffics, okay? So there's actually a 6-step process I take people through to figure out how to get traffic from any platform. So this video, we're gonna walk through the very first 2 steps. The next video will cover the last 4. Let's jump into the next video here inside the Traffic Secrets Masterclass.
So that's basically the first section here of the Traffic Secrets book. It's the foundation of everything, because all the other things I teach are like they come off of that foundation. So I want to make sure that I shared that with you guys first. Okay, so now the second section of the book is called the Fill Your Funnel Frameworks. Okay, and the second section, again, this is the part of the book that was really not scary, but like the hardest part for me to write, because traffic changes so often, right? It's always changing. I'm like, how in the world do I write an evergreen book about the most unevergreen topic in the history of the planet? And I was like, the only way to do it is to figure out what's the framework, what's the pattern, what is that thing that works every single time? I started looking back, like, okay, back before there was a Facebook, how did I get traffic? Okay, how many of you guys remember before Facebook, there was a site called MySpace? Who remembers MySpace? Okay, who remembers before MySpace, there was a site called Friendster? Less, right? Okay, and so I started looking like how did we get traffic back then? I started looking at what we did, and I started looking at the pattern. I started looking at the new things, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's a pattern that I do every single time consistently. And it's funny because Rachel Peterson is getting me excited about TikTok. I keep trying to fight it. Every time she posts something, and then my daughter Ellie's obsessed, and so we make TikTok videos together. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start playing this game again. And so as I started looking at TikTok, I started looking to the same framework and starts getting really, really exciting. So I'm gonna teach you guys this framework, and you can use it in any platform. I don't care if it's Google, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest, new platform coming out in the future. If you understand this framework, you can go into any of these networks and you can have success. Okay. So step number 1.
Before we go into the framework, so let's go and check out Rachel Peterson's TikTok. So Rachel Peterson on TikTok, and she's killing it, 1.7 million views. And, just to kind of, you just literally Google Rachel Peterson TikTok. So explore the latest trends from Rachel Peterson's TikTok, discovering food, cars, and relatable content in her videos. So as you can see, her TikTok account, it is amazing, in regards to just information that's provided. So let's just take a quick look at the one that has 1.7 million views. Let's take a look at her TikTok real quick here. Make sure that you all are looking at it. So this is Rachel Peterson.
My content strategy. My name is Rachel Peterson, and I charge my clients $117,000 to $247,000 per year. Today, I'm going to share with you one of my favorite strategies for social media so you can steal it and implement it yourself. Step one is to get clear on what your specialty is. I'm going to do this for accounting today. And within that specialty, you're going to create 12 subtopics. This is your year's worth of content. I'm going to start with month one, which is tax bills. Go to Google, type in the topic, and hit enter. There you'll see people also ask. You expand and contract this several times, you will get a ton more questions, and it goes on forever. Basically, Google is telling you exactly what people have questions about. This 30 times, and you have 30 questions that you can create content to. People are already wanting the answers to. You put those into a Google spreadsheet and randomize it. Create one content piece per day. Let's get nerdy for a second. Used as a part of an integrated marketing ecosystem, you are building top of funnel traffic to everything else that you do. Follow for more. My content strategy.
That was amazing. So look, I'm going to try that. That was awesome. So that was Rachel Peterson, a content strategy. And what she's saying is if you go to Google, and we're going to go ahead and do the exercise. And if you go to Google and like, for example, I'm talking about OfferLab, right? So we just type in OfferLab here and we go and see what questions people are asking about OfferLab. People are asking, what is OfferLab? So I would create a content video about what is OfferLab. Then the next one, so you see that it says OfferLab is a collaborative commerce platform and marketplace founded by Russell Brunson that allows creators to list their own products and enables affiliates to build offer stacks by combining multiple offers from different creators into a single streamlined sales funnel. The platform handles real-time commission splitting and payouts automatically, fostering partnerships and increasing sales. And then it actually links to a video that, that is ranked on Google, gives you a breakdown as well. And so to Rachel Peterson's point, see how the next question comes out. Does OfferLab have a good reputation? That's a video that I will create next. And so, it shows the video that is ranked highest right now on YouTube that's answering this question. And Adriane Mayes is going to do this as well. Then the next question, what is the best sales funnel builder? So in other words, you need a funnel builder to actually get this going. So they have ClickFunnels, Active Campaign, System.io, Get Response, Lead Pages, Kartra, BWO. I actually use Go High Level in Funnel Freedom. And then we have so this is how Google works, and this is how the viral content strategy. What is the business model of OfferLab? Well, that's OfferUp. So in other words, these are questions that people are asking, and this allows you to make content around this information. And then if you look at the bottom here, shows things as well. OfferLab login. So you would create content around that. Is OfferLab legit? The content around that. OfferLab review, content around that. OfferLab login, OfferLab Reddit, OfferLab certification, OfferLab affiliate, and how to use OfferLab. So right now, as you guys know, we're on the OfferLab Road to certification review for traffic secrets. And so that is one of the ideas. So let's go jump back in here to phase one and get some more information.
First thing you have to understand when you go into any new platforms, if you're going to go to Google or you're going to go to YouTube or whatever it is, first you have to understand the history of where this platform has come and the goal of the founders of the platform. Okay, you have to understand where it came from so you can know where it's going. These things are shifting and changing all the time. Okay, so you don't understand where it came from, it's hard to know where it's going, and then you're just kind of hitting, missing, and hoping for the best, right? So, for example, how many of you guys know who these two people are? Isn't that crazy? Most of you guys don't know. So these are the founders of Google. This is Larry and Sergey. They founded Google. And when they founded Google initially, it was kind of crazy. It wasn't called Google. Does anyone know that it was called initially when they first created it? It's called Backrub. That's kind of weird, huh? But let me tell you why. So they were sitting there and they were trying to figure out this whole search thing. The way search engines worked prior to Google is that basically people had search engine results. So they would list stuff, but then if you want to be ranked high, it was 100% like you pay $500 a year and you'll be listed in the search engine, right? And that's how most of the search engines work. So you were getting, if you go search for something, it was all you ever saw, like basically paid ads. Like that's all the search engines were. And so whoever rose to the top was whoever was willing to pay the most. And they're like, I don't feel like that's the right thing. And so their philosophy, their hypothesis going into this is like, I bet you that whoever gets the most other sites saying that they're cool, like that's just like whoever's linking the most back to this one site, that's how we know if someone's the best, right? And so they built their first algorithm is all based on that. So they basically came back and said, okay, here's their search results, right? Here's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, all the way down to 10, right? So okay, here's a website here. Each one's a website. And it's okay, if a whole bunch of people are linking to this, let's say this site's got let's just, okay, people linking here, people linking, let's say this site's got 100 links. If this one has 101, it means more people like this site. If this one has 102 links, it means more people like this site. So it's like, that means they're rubbing each other's back, right? Like this is like, they have a lot of people who like this person. And so that was kind of their philosophy. So they created out the initial search engine, they put it out there, and the ranking shifted, and it worked really, really good. At the time, I think they were, I can't remember if they're Stanford or Harvard, blanked off the top of my head, but they were one of the schools. This is where it was built out initially. And eventually they were using the school servers. It got too big, they couldn't handle it. And so they said, you have to take it off of this platform and go take it somewhere else. They bought google.com, and it became Google. Okay, so this is the whole history of the platform, how it worked. It was like, okay, we got to figure out who's got the most links, wins. Okay, and then what happens, as soon as the platform goes live, the algorithm is out there, then people like us, we're the entrepreneurs who are like, this is really, really cool. How do we beat the algorithm? How do we beat the system? What's the loophole, right? How many of us look at everything through that lens sometimes? Okay, we ruined the internet, just so you guys know. And I was part of the first wave of ruining the internet. So I remember sitting back and hearing this, and people like, this is how it works. I remember like some of these keywords, especially if you get on the first page for like a really competitive keyword, it can be worth hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars to you, right? And so it became this really quick game. We said, okay, well, I want to be in this spot. How many links do they have? They have 102. Cool, I'm going to go and get 1,000 links. And we started hiring people in the Philippines and in India and Peru to start doing link building for us, right? I said, this site's got 100 links, we want 5,000. And boom, we blow it up, 5,000 links, and so we're number one, right? We're number one in Google, right? And then we started creating software that would make mass spamming links. And start spamming links, we get higher and higher and higher. And so for a little while, all the spammers and the scammers, the ones who rose to the top, right? Which then makes Google's algorithm no good, because now it's like, oh my gosh, we're supposed to show the best sites. Now we're showing literally the worst sites from people who are just spamming the search engines. So they had to go back to work, like, we have to shift the algorithm. How do we change it? And so they start shifting this to say, okay, well, maybe it's not just links. Maybe it's quality links. Maybe, and let's give page rank to things. And they've gone through a whole bunch of different iterations over the years to get us closer and closer and closer to something that works. Okay. And so there's a season with a new network where people are trying to game the system, figure it out, while the founders are trying to figure out how to protect themselves. And eventually, 15, 20 years later, now we got Google where it is now, and it's much more difficult to break the search engines. So instead of trying to break the search engines, what if we align with the search engines? What if you figure out what they actually want, right? This is the mindset shift I had to have from going from like me being a hacker to trying to figure out how to just game the system, to like, how do we play with the system? Okay, because I've had a lot of times I got page number one for make money, page number one for work at home, page number one for all these keywords for a season, where for 2 or 3 weeks I'm getting insane amounts of leads, and all of a sudden it's gone. Okay, so in 6 months getting something there, and then week that was there for a week and it's gone. And it's like a painful, not fun game. I was like, I want to build stuff that's going to be consistent, that's going to last long term. So to do that, I got to figure out, where is Google going? Where is YouTube going? Where's Twitter, Pinterest, whatever the platform, where is it going? What are their goals, so I can align with them? Okay, it's a mindset shift for us entrepreneurs, because we're always trying to think, how do we break the rules? Instead, I want you to start shifting to how do we align with their rules? Because if we can do that, we can build something that'll be stable and long-term, right? So that's the number one, is figuring out the platform, understanding where they came from and where they're going, so we can align with their goals and figure out the stuff they actually want, okay? That way you can be doing this for a long time. So that's number one. Step number two now, this is where we go to that platform. So I don't care whatever one it is, you go to the platform that you want to be on. So if you pick Instagram or Facebook, you pick the platform, you go there and you start finding your Dream 100, right? You want to figure out who are the Dream 100 now on this specific platform, okay? Somebody's already there. They've already congregated your people. So let's find out what those people are. Okay, now what I want to recommend all you guys do is, the first thing I want you to do when you go to a new platform, let's say it's Instagram, go to Instagram. The first thing you need to do is you need to unsubscribe from all of your friends and your family. All they are doing in your life is bringing you stress and headaches and conversations that are useless for you growing a business. These phones are not social tools. This social media is not a social tool for you guys, okay? We are producers of social media. We are not consumers of social media, all right? Man, you can run down a rabbit hole and lose your life very, very quickly. So what I recommend is unsubscribe for everyone who's not on your Dream 100, okay? This becomes a market research tool really quick when you stop following every single person that you knew in high school, okay? We unsubscribe from them all, and then we just follow our Dream 100, okay? I start following on my Dream 100, and then every single day when I pull up my phone, I scroll through this thing, I'm just doing market research. What are my Dream 100 doing right now? How are they speaking to my audience? What are they saying? What are they being rewarded for? What things are showing up my feed and what things aren't? Okay, look at like, oh my gosh, this shows up here. So-and-so posted this and there's like 5 likes. But so-and-so posted this, like 3,000 comments. What did they do? Why is this one working versus the other one? Okay, we start looking, we're funnel hackers, right? We're looking at the patterns. Like, what is the pattern? What does this person do that the algorithms are rewarding today? We have to be very careful because the algorithms are always shifting and always changing. So we got to be looking constantly every single day, like what are they being rewarded for today? What video did Russell post? Did it work? Did that concept, that layout, that style, that thing, did it work? Did it not work? Did you get comments? Did it not get comments? Okay, every single day, our social team is posting new videos, new pictures, new images, and we're just testing stuff all the time to figure out what things are working. We're looking at every single, like all the other people on our Dream 100 to look what they're doing and figure out what's the pattern, what's working today. I remember probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe 3, I don't know, a couple of years ago, looking through Instagram, and I'm kind of weird because I follow my Dream 100, but then I follow the Dream 100 in like almost every industry just because I'm obsessed with like seeing what people are doing. And so I follow all the fitness people, all the real estate people, I'm following all the people so I can see what's happening in other markets as well. And I remember seeing in my feed all the fitness people started using these meme videos. You guys remember? You guys know what meme videos are? There's like a video with the headline up top and then transcripts down below. I remember every time I see it, it would catch me as I'm scrolling through. I'm like, oh, that thing is cool. And I look at it, and the comments and the likes were super high. I'm like, what in the world is this thing? And I started looking at it. I remember like a month or so later, we had an inner circle meeting, and Brandon and Kaylin came up. And when they did their presentation, they're like, you guys, meme videos are killing it for us. They showed us, like, oh my gosh. And so all of a sudden, all of us in the inner circle meeting that day went out and started doing meme videos on our own platforms. And for a while, it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. Okay, what we have to understand is that social media marketing is all about patterns and pattern interrupts, right? So what happens is that everybody's stuff starts looking the same. You start scrolling through your feed and everything looks the same. And all of a sudden something interrupts you, right? So you create this pattern interrupt. So for a little while, those meme videos were the pattern interrupt. You're going through, it's like, oh my gosh, we stopped it, right? You stopped your thing and other people start singing, they model it, they copy it. And eventually the pattern interrupt becomes the pattern, right? And that happens quickly. Sometimes you got a month, 2 months, 3 months before the pattern interrupt becomes a pattern and stops working as good. So we're always looking for like, what's working, what's the new pattern interrupt, what can we try next, what's the next thing we can do, what's the next pattern interrupt we can figure out so we can get people to stop in their tracks as they're scrolling through, right? So that's why I'm doing this. I'm following my Dream 100. I'm scrolling through here, looking what they're doing to figure out what are things that get me to stop, what are things that get me to click, right? So I can look at that. And I start looking at the posts, like what did they do? Do they use hashtags? What hashtags do they use? What was it a short comment? Was it a long comment? Okay, so someone will ask me, well, what should my comments look like? Or what should my posts look like on Instagram? I'm like, I don't know. It changes day by day. Like, what are the algorithms rewarding today? The way you find that out is figure out from your Dream 100, who are the people having success and watching them and modeling them and be like, oh my gosh. I just like, for example, I saw Grant Cardone yesterday posted this really cool sales video on, I think it's Instagram. We had $100 bills. Did anyone see this? And he had like his sales video written on $100 bills and magic markers. He's flipping thing after thing after thing. I watched the whole entire thing. I am so busy. I'm planning a higher event for 5,000 people. And I'm like sitting there watching this video. Like it was such a good pattern interrupt. And you can bet everything you got. I'm trying to figure out what do I create? Like I'm not going to do $100 bills because that's ridiculous. But like, could I do something like $1 bills? Like how can I like model that, right? And then eventually every single one of you guys do the same thing. And it becomes a pattern. It's like, oh good, another dollar bill like thing, right? But for a little window there's a window. So it's looking for the patterns. And it's always trying to develop your own things too. Like do something crazy, do something weird, okay? There's a big reason why Bart has me wearing 2 to 3 outfits every single day, right? Because I don't want you guys scrolling through your social media and see Russell in the same clothes 800 times. I want you to like, oh my gosh, there's a picture of Russell with this thing. Like, what is that? It stops you in your tracks, right? Russell in a suit, like that's weird. It's a pattern interrupt, right?
So I'm gonna pause right there. So one of the pattern interrupts that has been dominating Facebook has been like the social posts. So during training, Daniel Chu actually, and this is Austin Armstrong, so he billionaire marketer, and so has come up with this tool that allows you to, post these posts or what have you. So Daniel Chu in training or what have you showed everybody that these posts, he has 3 million views now on this actual page. But what he's showing is, let me show if I can actually show you one. This here, Camila Markson, where you actually have the post, you create this in Canva, and you share the video. So video is getting more views for his platform. And so sharing other people. So Camila Markson is someone he brought up in training, and she actually has over 408,000 followers and, just testing, doing things and, and as you can see, 41 million views with how she's doing her, how she's doing her process. 21 million. It's $1,000 that Mark Zuckerberg is going to be sending her because of being consistent in regards to these type of posts. And so he showed us this information, and as you can see, I'm liking it. And so you're getting and so what the whole concept is they're doing these social. Are you talking to me? Okay, so I hope that you weren't looking at me the whole time. That would be unfortunate. I wonder if you were looking at me the whole time. So now I feel like I have to go back, but I'm not sure. That's why this is live. So the great thing is, hopefully, you're going to be watching this and doing this yourself because we're watching Traffic Secrets, and if it's live, if you missed that part, get certified because that sucks. Anyway, I was talking about Camila Markson and how this part of the presentation. So as you can see, she has 213 comments, and let me show you this part as well. 41 million views and about $1,000 in earnings over the last 28 days from Facebook. So how it works is, she'll make this Canva prompt, and then actually in the comments have Canva prompts with the comments with the and it's just a pattern interrupt. So what Russell Brunson was talking about is the pattern interrupts, and then giving information about OfferLab. So that is and then you can go and model that. Goodbye Canva, goodbye CapCut, goodbye subscription. ChatGPT now creates, edits, and schedules 30 days of content in under 1 hour. Here are 7 prompts that make every tool obsolete. And so the tool number 1 should go through content calendar and create a 30-day content calendar with engaging post ideas tailored to my niche goals. And then the next one is, again, so this is literally a pattern interrupt, but this is helping her with building her social media machine. And this is the new trend on Facebook. But so what she'll do is put all these comments, and then the last comment is, want the exact platform I'm using to turn these digital operatives into a cash machine? This is literally the ground floor moment, and barely anyone knows about it yet. And so comment OfferLab, and I'll send you the invite. So this is OfferLab. This is somebody that's a part of OfferLab, and people will see how they're commenting OfferLab. And literally, I'm going to model, just you have to continue to model and test things. And so just, you see how this works? You get around people that are doing these things, and, you just got to keep testing and trying. And that's the whole key of the game. So let's get back to the video. I hope that you guys weren't looking at me the whole time while Russell was talking for 11 minutes, but preferably not. Let's go back here.
So that's what we're looking for.
Dang.
So we're looking for these pattern interrupts. Now, Jenna, this is Jenna. Could you guys know Jenna? If you guys don't, she is one of my favorite human beings on this planet. We were hoping to get her to speak at this Funnel Hacking Live, but she was with her family in Hawaii. But I'm going to be hanging out with her next week, and maybe we can get her next year. If all you guys comment our stuff, say, we wish you were at Funnel Hacking Live, I bet we can get her to come here next year. So, yeah, you already did. So anyway, not that I'm trying to get her here. She's amazing. So, but she's been on my Dream 100 for a long time. She's a really good podcast called the Gold Digger Podcast. You guys should all listen to it. But I was scrolling through the feed, and I keep seeing her stuff. And I remember just being really impressed and looking at all her posts, get so many comments and engagement. I'm like, she knows what she's doing. And so I went and then so I said, okay, she knows what she's doing. I went and bought her courses. I started following her, started studying her. I got her on the phone, got to know her, and started asking her questions. I was like, man, you are one of the most engaging people on social media I've ever seen. How do you do it? And she said, well, I have a framework I use. I'm like, what's your framework? She said, my framework's called the JK5 method. Have you guys heard of Jenna's JK5 method before? It's a simple framework she created for how she posts on Instagram. And ever since she taught me this, we started doing it now on Facebook and my podcast. I try to model this everywhere. But basically, the JK5 method is you got to find 5 different categories of your life that people will find interesting. Okay. What happens for a lot of us is like, we're business people or we're fitness people. So everything we post is me doing a squat, right? Or it's me like on stage going like this, right? What happens is you're very one-dimensional that way, right? And so the people who are like pumped, they want to be on stage will follow you, but the rest of the world just tunes you out. She said, you have to be a multidimensional human because we all are anyway. She said, you have to be multidimensional. She said, so you have to pick 5 categories of things that you are passionate about. So for me, I was like, okay, what are my 5 categories? And these are the 5 I picked. It said families, funnels, faith, entrepreneurship, and personal development. These are the 5 things that I'm really passionate about. She said, next, she said, on your phone, you need to make 5 picture albums in your phone for these 5 different categories. And then she says, throughout the day, you need to be taking pictures of every single thing you're doing and then categorizing in one of these 5 things. So if you're taking your kids to church, take a picture. If you're going to an event, take a picture. If you're going, like everywhere you're going, start taking pictures of all these different things and put them in the categories in your album on your phone so you have them. And then what you do is when you start posting in social media, you don't do 2 business pictures in a row. You rotate through your 5 categories, through JK5. So first you post a picture of your family, then one with funnels, then faith, then entrepreneurship, and personal development. Okay, so if you look at mine right here, so at the top left-hand corner, there's me and my wife and our amazing kids in McCall, Idaho, going skiing, right? So there's a family one. Then you go to the right, there's me doodling out a funnel. Boom, there's a funnel one, right? Then you go to the right, there's me in Fiji with the preacher preaching to the Fijian, preaching in a Pentecostal church with this dude, which was amazing, right? There's faith. Then we go to entrepreneurship. There's my kids selling a lemonade stand. Then we go to personal development. There's talking about repetition matters. Then we start back over. There's family, right? And you start seeing this pattern. You know, not 100%. Sometimes we kind of, you know, not 100% perfect, but there's a pattern to this, right? So what happens is you start doing this, and you'll have people from different parts of your life that'll follow you, right? People that go to church with me will start following me, and they're like, oh, there's Russell and his family. We got to meet him. And then they start seeing pictures of my family. Oh, this is cool. I like Russell. And they're like, oh, what's that weird personal development thing? What's this funnel thing? What's this? And all of a sudden they start seeing this, and eventually they start asking questions. They start coming into your world. And they're like, oh, I like Russell because I know he's a family person. I know his family. I trust him there. What's he doing over here? Okay. I got in this audience probably 5 or 6 people that go to church with me who didn't know what I was, and they followed me on Instagram, and now they're here at Funnel Hacking Live, right? Okay, that wasn't by that wasn't by design. That's what happened, right? Same thing with personal development, entrepreneurship, family. Like you do these things out there, like my family posts, right? Like I go to my kid's soccer game, and no one knows what I do. They all assume I'm unemployed or something. That he drives this weird Jeep, says Funnel Hacker. But I get to know them at soccer games and stuff. They follow us on Instagram or on Facebook, and they see me posting pictures of my family over and over and over again, right? We've got the guy who's done our kitchen remodel is here in the audience. What's crazy is he came to our house, didn't know anything what we're doing. You know, it's like, I'm building this kitchen at Russell's house. This is kind of weird. Follow me on Instagram, so listen to our podcast, and now he's a Funnel Hacking Live, right? And Todd, you having a good time so far? Anyway, but that's what we're doing, right? We're being multifaceted people, because people are coming to your world from a whole bunch of different places. A lot of you guys didn't come here because you want to learn funnels. Most of you guys didn't know what funnels were, but you saw an entrepreneurial quote, right? Or you saw a personal development quote. Or you saw me with Tony Robbins. You're like, oh, I know Tony Robbins. What's this funnel thing? And all of a sudden, boom, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, and now you were here. Okay? The Kool-Aid's good, right? Okay. Yes. Okay, so that's what we're doing, is we're doing those things. We're trying to create, so we're taking pictures, you're doing stuff, you're documenting all these things, putting them in folders, and then when it's time to post that, you just go to your family album or whatever your thing is, your fitness album, scroll through, find the best picture, and you post it, right? And that's when we start creating these content and trying to figure out these new pattern interrupts and things we can do to grab people's attention. Okay, like I said, I try to do this now through everything I'm publishing, I'm doing some variation of this, right? From Facebook to Instagram to podcast, I'm trying to rotate through things so I can be more multi-dimensional. I can attract different people into our world.
So it's crazy. I was actually working on the same concept with Enika Gaines, the Attach Extraordinaire. So, you know, we talked about, like I said, getting a client for the marketing program. And so Enika Gaines is on a transformation journey. And so, you know, went through, you know, did the first part of the actual process, was able to kind of talk out what was the goals of the transformation, and, you know, just kind of document it along the way. So she lost 6 pounds over the course of 1 week, right? And so it's like, oh my gosh. I was like, so, you know, right now, as I'm creating this live course, OfferLab Road to Certification, you know, in reviewing the Russell Brunson certification parts, the marketplace, answering those questions, creating content, helping entrepreneurs, doing the actual consulting, helping people build their billionaire brands. So this is one of the programs that's going to be on OfferLab, right? But so she was like, well, Adriane, we can't do a blueprint until we actually have a blueprint. So she's going to do this for 12 weeks. She's 1 week in. She's lost 6 pounds. And as I was building this community, I was like, I agree with you. You know, you have to have the end result, but people want to see you along the way. So even today, you know, she does that every day during the work, before or after her workout, takes a picture. And so I'm just like, just do a voice note in regards to, you know, what your journey was about. And so that way, I'm going to read you with the actual voice note. I told her to a suggestion. So focusing on the 5 F's, right? Family, faith, fears, finance, and fitness when you're doing a weight journey. So for example, family, I strengthened my bond with whatever. Faith, I felt anchored when blank. Fears, the fear that popped up was blank. I countered it by blank. Finance, I made a wise health investment by blank. Fitness, I moved my body so she lost 6 pounds in a week and noticed blank. So what my point is, when you're doing these courses and you're doing transformation, it's like you just talk about the JK5 method, where you post with different content. You want to talk about your family, your faith, and whatever 5 things that are passionate for you, and being able to create content around that. So when we actually launch the course, we won't be juggling content. We'll actually have folders that we're setting up to be able to have all this content. So being able to, hopefully you're able to see the whole video there, and it wasn't just focused on me half the video, which, in other words, it was talking about first 2 phases to fill your funnel. So we talked about that piece, and let's go back here. And now the last steps is to unleash the traffic. So let's go to the last piece in the last 15 minutes here. So you got looking at me again. Okay, here we go.
High-level overview of how to get All right, welcome back. Now it's time for the exciting conclusion of the Traffic Secrets Masterclass. Okay, we just covered the first 2 steps in the last video to help you master any advertising platform. Now we're going to jump into the last 4. All right, now after you guys watch this video, I want you to understand that, again, this is a high-level overview of how to get traffic, right? And how to dominate all these different platforms. But I want to go a lot deeper with you. The best way to do that right now is to get your copy of the Traffic Secrets book if you haven't. Okay, we go deep into each platform. Like, what does it look like on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google, on YouTube? How do we actually dominate those traffic sources and get those people coming to you? How do we find affiliates to promote your products? How do you find your dream 100? Like, everything else you want to go deep in this is all here inside the Traffic Secrets book. Now, a couple things about this book. Number 1, I'm very proud of it. It's my first book that ever was a New York Times bestselling book, which means a lot of people bought it, which means you should buy it as well. Like, that's pretty good psychology, right? Now, the reality is this book has changed a lot of people's lives, helped them to finally get traffic in their business. If you don't have a copy yet, again, I will send you a free one. You just cover the shipping and handling. After you watch this video, there's a link down below. Click on that. We'll ship you out a free copy. And then we can help you get more traffic into your websites and your funnels. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this book will be the guide along the way. So I hope you enjoy the masterclass. We'll watch video number 4 right now, and then go get your copy of the Traffic Secrets book.
Phase number 3. Now we got to create our publishing strategy. Okay, we found our Dream 100. We're following them. We're seeing what they're doing. Now we got to look at this and say, what's my publishing strategy? Okay, it's going to be different for everybody, and it's going to shift throughout time. Like when we first started doing Instagram a little while ago, we were looking like, what are the best people? People who have the most success. What are they doing? They were posting, I think, twice a day at the time. So like, cool, we'll do twice a day. And as we kept doing that, over time, we started seeing a drop in engagement. Like, what's happening? We started looking at people who are still having success, and they were posting less often. So we said, okay, we're going to shift from 2 times a day to 1 time a day, right? With our podcast, for a while, I was doing them random. Like, I'll just do a podcast whenever I want to. And eventually, I was like, well, what days do we get the biggest downloads on our podcast? What are those things happening? Like, let's focus. And now I'm going to do it twice a week. Right now, even twice a week, they go out at the same time, same day, because we figure out what works best for us. Right. So, whatever platform you're going on, you got to figure out a publishing strategy you can be consistent with. Okay, consistency is the key, because most of the time you go into a platform, posting once or twice is not going to do you very good.
So it's so funny. I wanted to bring this up real quick before we go back into the video. I was thinking today, I was like, there's so much I want to talk about and want to be able to help people within OfferLab. So when you're looking in OfferLab, this is my brainstorm, right? So let me make sure I show you my screen. So in OfferLab, I was thinking, okay, there is the different categories up top. You have Explore, e-commerce, digital goods, courses and coaching and experiences, right? If I go live and actually have people, this is how my mindset thinks first. If I go live and have people from the school community in these different categories each day to provide value with live virtual conversations with Adriane Mayes to be able to capture their story, understand their super funnel, and bring this content to you. I was like, but Adriane, what will that do? That will actually have an end goal of a lot of great value in beauty and health and brand building and forward style, forward accessories, adventure and travel ready, home and wellness, all things fashionable for the little furry ones, tools for beauty. There's a lot of offers on this platform, is my point. And so, yes, it'll be a lot of content. I will be able to start attracting people that are interested in actually learning more about OfferLab. People will actually see the process of building funnels, and I would gain an actual, organically. I know that people will actually pay attention because, again, that's how it works. But then I got to thinking, I was like, Adriane, I want to build, like Myron Golden says, you build your business how you want to build your business. So I'm doing all of this information today, as tomorrow is my live virtual conversation series that I have on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you tune in. But I don't want to work every day. Like, that's not the goal of being an entrepreneur. I know I have to work every day, but I don't want to check in. And so what I decided to do was to actually do this today, try to get this reviews out to you all to be able to put this into my course and community. And after doing that piece, then I will have Tuesdays allocated for my virtual day, right? For my conversations. Now, I'm giving myself the flexibility to know that on Tuesdays, I'm answering questions for OfferLab members. I'm helping out my VIP members. I'm helping out people that invest in OfferLab with me. I'm helping out people that need free content. Anything that's dealing with OfferLab, Tuesdays is going to be my live virtual conversation day. I know, like right now, if I need to have videos to have this into my courses, those are going to be at random, like these are. So these videos that I'm doing today, the review of the Traffic Secrets Masterclass for Brunson, this is going to be within the course. So that's why it's on today. So that's but what my point is, set your business up how you want to actually set your business up so that you can actually go and get the ideal clients or what have you. I want to have one day a week where I have my live virtual conversations. I know I'm gonna need time to build my different coaching programs, help people along the way, do the publishing, do the content, do a lot because I'm building the billionaire brand strategy, right? But within that, I don't want to go back to like a 9 to 5 mindset. That's like not what I want to do. Like, I don't want to be responsible every day at 4 o'clock to be somewhere. Like, that's how I was doing my lives before. But Tuesdays are going to be my day. So just to kind of give you a basis, you can do the same thing. Set your business up how you want to run your business. Okay, let's get back into the training. Thank you. So that was my whole point in bringing that information to you. So you set your business up how you want to set your business up for success. Okay, get you back here. Come on, phase 3, creating your strategy. Let's go, Russell.
Okay, it's posting once or twice per year, and then 2 years, and then 5 years. Right? I think I am 7 years into my podcast now. But it's consistent. I remember when I started my podcast, I was like, if I have to go into a studio with a microphone and a thing and people editing audios, I will never do this podcast. Because I can't be consistent with it. But I said, but if I start a podcast called Marketing My Car and I just drive around and I talk on my phone, I drive my car almost every day. Like, I'll just do it that way. And so that's how I started. Jumped in my car, I started driving, I started telling my story, started documenting my journey. Okay? That was pre-ClickFunnels. That was on the back end of a huge business failure. And we started publishing, right? And so that's the key, is just being consistent, figuring out a way you can be consistent with. So don't go do TikTok if you know there's no way I'm going to be posting videos twice a day of me dancing, lip syncing. Okay, don't do it. Okay, but if you're like, this fits my vibe, this is what I like to do, I enjoy this, and then do that, right? Pick one platform you can be consistent on. Okay, if you're a writer, you like blogging, like go to medium.com, set up a free account, start blogging on Medium, right? If you're a podcast person, do a podcast. Like, figure out the platform that you want to go into where you can publish consistently, and then start doing that. Okay.
So one other thing I'm going to interject with. So the live virtual conversations is something that I enjoy doing. So I enjoy doing those on Tuesdays and have been doing it since May 6th on a consistent basis. And so since I enjoy doing that on that one day on Tuesdays, I'm going to have that one day allocated for my live virtual conversations. Now, will I take conversations on other days? Yes. Will I do some flexibility? Yes, because you have to do things outside of the box. However, I need to keep it structured to what I like to do. I enjoy my live virtual conversations. I'm booked through October 21st on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm excited about that, in having people that want to raise their hand and be a part of the actual process. However, at the same time, you set up your business how you want to run your business. And that's why I keep reiterating that, because I had to learn that the hard way. And that's when you get burned out. That's when you get overwhelmed. You have to give yourself the time to think, the time to actually grow. And being able to do these certain things, to be able to show up for people, to make changes to your business, to make additions and updates to your business, you will have to learn and test. And so that's why I know that OfferLab is so amazing. I know that, you're able to get involved with the AI cash story method and understand how you can build your brand with Adriane Mayes. And you doing the work is going to be more than just doing the work. You have to have a system, you have to have a strategy. And like you were saying with step 3, your publishing strategy. And so with you going and joining my family, the AI webinar family, by going to the link below, and if you're already in the family, what up though? And we're building, because your email is the one place that is the one thing you own in the social media business. So if Facebook shuts down, Instagram shuts down, YouTube shuts down, you want to be able to print money. And when people have that know, like, and trust factor about you, your email list is your baby. And even though, it's always been a thorn in my side as well, because I cannot lie to you. I do not like receiving a million emails. I don't like, and I treat people how I want to be treated. And so I'm being very careful in that process. But at the same time, you got to do it. In order to build your brand, in order to give information to people, and make sure, you check your spam sometimes as well, because a lot of the emails that I know I send from Adriane@cccelevate.com, it might be in the change, may end up in the same spam folder. But the key thing is to keep going, guys. That's the whole key with this. And so let me get back into the training so that we can I'll be able to wrap up this here with this traffic secrets tidbit. Let me get here for us. Let's go.
Okay, you create a publishing strategy and then you stick it to it. Okay, now you have your publishing strategy. Let's say it's podcasting, you're podcasting. Now it's like, okay, what are the other podcasts my people are listening to? Okay, so I mentioned this earlier, but it was this little epiphany we had one day. It was so dumb, but I remember freaking out and I ran into Dave's office. I was like, Dave, I just had this huge aha moment. Do you remember this? I was like, this is insane. He's like, whoa. I'm like, okay, check this out. People who read blogs. It's like, oh, deep thoughts by Russell. Like, what time did you go to bed last night? How long have you been here at the office? I mean, no. But check this out. People who listen to podcasts, they listen to podcasts. So, yeah, man, you are a deep thinker today. No. But people who read emails, and people who, and I started going through this, and he's like, what's the point? I said, the point is this. Right now, we're trying to pull Dream 100 from everywhere. I was like, if we want people to listen to my podcast, I got to find out, because the people who are going to listen to my podcast are already listening to podcasts. It's hard to get someone who likes to read blogs to shift how they consume content to podcasts, right? Who are my podcast people? Who loves listening to podcasts? Who here are my readers, like to read blog posts, like read content? Who here likes watching videos? Okay, everyone's got different modalities of what they like, and so we tried for a long time. We were doing Dream 100, I remember it was actually the Expert Secrets book launch. We did the Expert Secrets book launch, and we're doing Facebook Lives with all of the people at big audiences. And so I was doing this Facebook Live with somebody who has this huge email list, and we did the Facebook Live, his fan page, and we had 3 people show up. And we're sitting there watching, and I was so angry. I'm like, we spent 45 minutes on this interview, and 3 people showed up. I was like, dude, after he's close enough friend, I could be like, dude, you had 3 people show up? Seriously? You wasted both our time for 3 people. And he was like, well, I don't have a big following on Facebook. My email list is huge. He's like, you should have just had me send an email to my list. And I was like, why didn't you tell me that before we got started, right? And so right now we're saying, if I'm trying to build my podcast, I'm going to find out who else has a big podcast that my dream customers are already listening to. If I'm going to go TikTok, who are the Dream 100 already have followings on TikTok that I can do collabs with, so I can work my way into those followings? Who are the people that already are blogging? If I want to become a blogger, I need to get to know all the best bloggers, and I start working my way and doing guest posts, getting to know those people, because the people who are reading blogs are the same people who are going to read my blogs, right? I don't have to go and create traffic. I got to find the existing traffic and step in front of it. Okay.
I'm gonna pause there. So just to kind of interject for myself, right? So if my plan is to do OfferLab certifications, what I would do is I would go into YouTube, right? And people that are already doing OfferLab reviews, like I'm doing right now. For example, Sin does reviews. He has over 12,000 views from 2 weeks ago. And I would actually take a look at his video, see what was engaging about his video. Why do people actually pay attention to it, and reach out to him in regards to being a part of my Dream 100. The next person to do it yourself, my brand. And so in other words, same thing, and see what is the deal with hers, and see, this is how I would set up my Dream 100. If I'm talking about OfferLab, Rob 4, put him on my Dream 100 list because he's already got 489 views from 3 weeks ago. 1,300 views from Dan Havey. So I would reach out to Dan Havey and same thing of see if I can the collaboration, because they're already talking about OfferLab. Sin does reviews. He just doesn't even know it yet, but I'm going to reach out to him in regards to his, collaborating to do a live virtual conversation with Adriane Mayes, David Sharp. So 365 Empower. And so I'm looking at the different names of people that are already talking about OfferLab. Chance Reynolds, 1,500 views. That means he's talking about OfferLab. He has the content and people are paying attention to him as well. Oh, look at Adriane on the list. Adriane Mayes, come on. AI Cash Story. Look at me on the list. That's what's up. Didn't know that. That's awesome. So anyway, I will call myself. So, but Dan Havey. So I'm working to have these different conversations and be a part of, have the people that are already talking about it and be able to be on when people search, to be on top of it. Look at me. I'm happy about that. My little video. Let me play it for you if you didn't check it out. Since I'm on the list. Look at Adriane. Okay, come on. Anyway, I'll put the link in there if you're going to go watch it. So I'm not going to take your time in doing that. But my point is, when you're creating your Dream 100, amazing. Look at me, I'm on the list. That's how you have to do it, though. You have to be consistent. You have to, because somebody goes into YouTube and types in OfferLab certification or OfferLab, Adriane Mayes, your AI Cash Story Captain on the list. I'm excited about that. Okay, so let's get back to watching the video with Russell Brunson and wrap this up here today. Look at this. Yay. Look at me.
All right. As you're working your way in, one thing that I learned the hard way, So I am obviously a hardcore direct response marketer who loves to sell stuff. How many of you guys are cut from the same thread as me? Okay. So I remember social media first came out. I didn't really get it. I remember being frustrated. I set up a Twitter account. I was like, sweet, this is awesome. And I bought a Twitter bot that like you should like go friend a million people, then unfriend them after they follow you. And I got like 100,000 followers overnight. I was like, this is amazing. And then I started spamming out links to all my funnels. I'm like, hey, everybody go buy my crap, go buy my stuff, go buy my stuff. I kept posting these things over and over and over again. And guess what happened? Nothing. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Why are people not giving me money? And I remember being so mad and just like perplexed. Like, I don't get it. I got a following. I'm sending offers in front of them. Why are they not giving me money? About the same time, one of my favorite marketers in this community, Perry Belcher. He spoke at the very first Funnel Hacking Live. How do you guys know Perry Belcher? He's one of the founders of Digital Marketer. He's just an amazing guy. And about the same time, he jumps on Twitter. And I'm like, I'm going to kill Perry. My Twitter software's getting me way more followers than him. But he starts doing a thing. He starts growing his following. And then and I noticed, though, he's not selling anything. I'm like, why is he wasting his time here? Like, he should go sell something to his people. And I'm watching him. And he does this thing for probably 6 months, builds up a huge thing, ends up getting, I don't know, 100,000 plus followers on Twitter. He's just talking, hanging out, people doing all sorts of stuff. And then one day, he did a Twitter webinar to just his Twitter list. And they had over 10,000 people show up live to this webinar. In fact, I remember because they called us saying, hey, can you have a GoToWebinar account we can borrow? Our account holds 1,000 people. And we have it's like 30 or 40,000 people registered for this thing. So are you serious? And they were daisy chained together all these webinar platforms to get everybody to come on to go do this presentation. So all these people come, like 30 or 40,000 people register, 10,000 people show up live on this webinar. They do the webinar. They crush it, like 2 Comma Club in an hour. And I remember sitting there being like, this is amazing. And so after the dust settled, I called up Perry. I was like, dude, I don't get it. How did you just do, like, I've been spamming people on Twitter for months and nobody's bought anything. Like, how do you do this? And he's like, he smiles. He's like, Russell, he's like, I know exactly why you're not having success. I'm like, well, why? Like, explain this to me. He's like, you know, when you go to like a networking party? And I was like, no, I'm introverted. I'm scared of people. He's like, you never been to a networking party? I'm like, no. He's like, well, okay, well, normal people, they go to networking party. He's like, if you go to a party and you walk into the room, right? There's a whole bunch of people hanging out, having fun. You walk in, you're like, hey guys, what's up? Want to buy my stuff? He's like, guess what they do? Everyone's like, oh, it's that guy. And they turn their back like, oh, right? He's like, that's what you did. You're that guy. He's like, I'm that guy. He's like, yeah, you walked into this party and started telling her about your stuff. He's like, nobody likes that guy at the party. Nobody likes you, Russell. I was like, oh, that sucks. I was like, well, how do you play this game then? He said, okay, this is how us extroverts do it. He's like, you go in the party and you become the life of the party. You talk to people, you have fun, you tell stories, you tell jokes, you introduce people to each other. You're like the person who's like the connector, and you have a bunch of fun. And suddenly everyone's like, man, Perry is the life of the party. He's the most fun thing, right? He's like, you're having fun at this party. And then he said, when the party's over, you invite people to come back to your house. So they come to your house. They walk in the house and they see the picture of your family on the thing. They see things are important to you, see your bookshelf, see all the stuff that you care about. Is like they're in that situation. Then at your house, where it's you and them, different location, away from the party, that's where you invite them to buy stuff. I was like, oh my gosh. He said, look at social media as a party. You're going to these places, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, one of these places. You're not going to spam stuff. You're going to go build a relationship, to be the life of the party, get to know people, get to connect people with each other, become the person that everybody loves. And then be like, hey, you want to check me out? Come back to my YouTube channel. Come check me out. This is where all the stuff's important to me is over here. Oh, you want to check me out? Come over here to my Instagram. This is where all the stuff's important to me. And they come over to your home. And then there on that platform, you have the ability to start connecting, communicating, and pushing people into your funnels from there. And when he told me that, I went back and I deleted my 100,000 fake friends. Deleted all my posts, and I started over from the very beginning. And that's been now, man, probably 8 years ago. And I'm not the best at it. I'm still the introverted guy who doesn't understand networking, but I'm there every day. I'm putting in the time. I'm on my phone, connecting, talking, commenting, introducing people. In fact, this is how I got to meet this amazing human being right here. You guys had a chance to hear from him on day one. When he wrote his very first book, Trust Me, I'm Lying, I'm like, this book is insane. The Dark Art of a Media Manipulator. Who here's read this book? Like, it's ridiculous. I wish I could just tell you about it, but you should, like, it's, anyway, I read it, I was like, this dude is the man. So I followed him. He became one of my Dream 100 on all my platforms. And for years, I've been following him and just watched as he published his first book and his second book and his next book. And like, he's become like one of my favorite authors of all time. And like 3 or 4 months ago, he posted a picture right here on the left here. And this is his new manuscript for Stillness is the Key. He posted it. And I was like, oh my gosh, you have another book coming out. So I commented, I was like, dude, your book's amazing. Like, I love you. I'm so excited for your new manuscript. Okay. 15 minutes later, I get this private message from Ryan. who I didn't know even knew who I was, said, saw your comment on my post on my book. Really cool, man. Your stuff has been super helpful for us over the years. And I'm like, what? Ryan Holiday knows who I am? Like, I'm like totally fangirling, freaking out, like running around the office, like, oh, showing everybody, like, he just messaged me. And then I'm like, okay, gotta be cool. Okay, how are we gonna do this? And then I sit there and like rewrite this message 400 times, delete it. And then like, how many days later was it? Oh, it was the same day, but it was like 10 hours later. So for 10 hours, I'm like writing the most important copy of my life. So finally, okay, I'm gonna play it cool. Hey man, that's so cool. And then I start freaking out. You are literally my favorite author right now. I have so much respect for you. Thanks for reaching out. Let me know if there's anything I can ever do ever. Like, seriously. Oh, and I send him like, oh no, I'm an idiot. And then the next day he wakes up in the morning. He said, oh man, that was a nice surprise. Send me your address and email. I'm gonna send you a copy when I get a new book.
So like, that's crazy. I had the same feeling with Jason Fladian. So like, I literally am a part of Go webinars, and I reached out to him. I saw him on here. I was like, and it might not have been him, and that's cool too. That's okay. But when I invested in his Go webinars course, I reached out to him and said, thank you, I appreciate it. He was on a vacation with his beautiful wife, and so this is around the time frame, that he got married or what have you. And so I sent him a message, right? And I was like, oh my gosh, he replied. And so I was like, dang, oh my God, this billionaire is replying in my DMs. Like, Adriane, what are you going to say? Like, and so I didn't know what to say. So I was just, and so he replied. That's the crazy part. It's, this genius webinar, the greatest of all time with webinars, and simple, they're people, guys. And what we forget in this whole journey, I know I do, is forgetting that they're people. The greatest of all time, he's done over $500 million in webinars, and it has helped billionaires like to get onto their platform, including Russell Brunson, that's why he had to be a part of the AI Cash Story team. So my point is, just reach out to these people and, and create your Dream 100 list. Let's go ahead and finish watching the rest of it, because Jason Fladian is a part of the AI Cash Story Dream team. Just wanted to kind of show that. But when he replied to my DM, I was like, oh, Adriane, I'm about to be on this thing, billionaires in your DM. And I felt the same way when Jeff Hunter did. Jeff Hunter jumped into my live virtual conversation series I was doing during my birthday. And he just kind of randomly made a comment, and I was like, Jeff Hunter jumped into my Facebook, my live virtual conversation, and I was like, oh, look at Jeff, I got billionaires in my whole thing with the AI. So like, I don't know why I get so excited when people actually show love, because you're supposed to, right? And so when Jeff actually jumped into my DMs, and I met him through Jonathan Montoya, part of the AI Cash Story Dream Team. And, and I even learned how to, and what I got from Jeff too, I learned about writing my long message about my story and posting it to the 5 digital points for your storefront. So when he had that training, I was like, Jeff is amazing. Come on. And then he's doing these Google Veil videos, which are awesome as well. And, so I wanted to try to figure out the direction I wanted to go into. And so just support and just be a part of people's community. Because when Jeff jumped in when Jeff jumped into my DMs, I promise I was just so excited. So anyway, into my live virtual conversation. So you don't know who's paying attention is my point. Keep going, do the work. So let's get back into the training. So let's stay focused. Thank you.
And then I was like, dude, would Jay speak in front of Hacking Live? He said yes, and now he's here, right? But so think about this. This is my Dream 100, and this is one aspect of it, okay? This is very similar where I met Prince CA. Like, this is like, I'm out there, I'm following people, I'm looking, I'm studying, I'm learning from them, I'm commenting on their posts. I'm always engaging with what they're doing, okay? I'm sharing, I'm introducing people, I'm bringing them on my stage. Like, hey, Ryan, come talk to my people. Like, I love what you do, right? I'm providing value as much as possible. And guess what I'm going to ask Ryan to do someday? I have no idea, maybe nothing, right? But I guarantee you my next book comes out, I'm going to send him a copy. If he likes it, maybe he'll do something about it. Maybe not, I don't really care, right? I'm not going in with any kind of like, evil ulterior motive. So many of us have this motives with Dream 100. Is like, okay, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna fake like I'm nice for people, I'm gonna ask them for something. Like, no, that's not how it works, right? You're serving, and eventually they'll come to you because they're like, this is awesome. How can I help? Oh, well, this is what I'm doing. If you want to help, but don't go in.
One more crazy story. So this happened to me over this past weekend as well. So I was in training or what have you. So TR Garland, right? was on the OfferLab training. He was on the affiliate training. So I reached out to him. I was like, TR, what up, though? I'm doing it. I told him he was great. And would he be a part of my live virtual conversation series? And he replied back. Like, that's what got me excited about, he left me a voice note. Left him a voice note and let him know. I sent an email to him and being able to connect with him. But TR Garland, if you don't know, helps people with helping people get into their podcast or tapping into the power of podcasting. So he has a mastermind, he has a following. And when he replied to me, I was like, oh my God, because we have a like thing, which is OfferLab, helping people. And he said, you know what, Adriane, sure, I'll help you in regards to being on your live virtual conversation. I watched his podcast. He was so engaging in regards to helping other people. And that, when you have like minds of people doing things together, that's what this collaboration is all about. That is what building is all about. It's not doing it alone. That's why this OfferLab opportunity is so great. And so let me jump back into let's wrap the training up.
Looking for something. Okay. How many of you guys watched the video we did with me and Tony Robbins talking about my Dream 100 journey with him? The 10 plus year Dream 100 journey it took me to get him to do something, right? If you haven't, go watch that. It's on YouTube. It's amazing. It talks about the journey and what I did. I was never going in to meet Tony to try to take something from him. I was like, let me come and see how I can serve him. And I can serve him. And eventually he's like, man, this guy keeps serving me. Russell, what can I do for you? I was like, oh, I have a new book coming out. Do you want to interview me? He's like, sure. Boom, 3 million views later. We sold a crap ton of books. In fact, I would assume probably a tenth of this audience probably came from that Facebook Live I did with Tony when I introduced the Expert Secrets book to his audience. Okay. So that's what we're doing. We're working our way in. From there, I'm down to like a minute. From there, we start shifting to like buying our way in, right? How do we buy our way into these different networks? Okay. Again, you're coming in, you're fighting, Gary Vee's got this big following, like Tony's got this following, you're fighting our Dream 100, how big are their followings? And then we start throwing in hooks, right? We're throwing in hooks and we're interrupting them. We're throwing out different ads, different videos, different things to try to grab their attention and pull them from where they are into our business, right? Again, the traffic's already there. We're not trying to generate it or create it. We're just finding, boom, there's traffic. There's 3.1 million people following Tony. Let me just see how I can step into that and get some people to come to me as well. Okay. And then the last phase here in the last 10 seconds is filling your funnel. Okay. If you have nothing else in this business, the key to business is growing your list. Okay. Traffic is going to go up and it's going to go down. It's going to shift. It's going to be really good sometimes. It's going to be really, really bad sometimes. Kevin, I think this is my 16th year in this industry. I have seen thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs who had made millions of dollars, who lost it all and never made it back. And the reason why is because they focus just on buying ads or just on ranking on SEO. And as soon as those things shift, the algorithms change and something happens, they lose their business overnight. Okay, I've been lucky enough that one of my first mentors, Mark Joyner, told me from day number one, he said, the only thing you should be focusing on when you're growing your company is building your list. Building your list. And you drilled that in my head. And so everything we do when we drive traffic all has one goal and one goal only, is to take all the traffic from our Dream 100 through the traffic we earn and the traffic we control and pushing it into our own list so we control our own destiny. Okay, mark my word, there will be a time in the near future, I don't know if it's going to be a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 5 years from now, where Facebook ads are not going to work for the majority of us. It's going to happen. So right now we've got the season, right? Instagram, YouTube, these things are not always going to be around. And so if you're focusing everything like just making sales off these platforms, it's good for a season, but it's not going to keep you here 15 years from now. Okay. You do that by focusing on building a list and building a relationship with the list. Okay. So all the efforts we're doing to drive traffic, all those things are all with one goal only, is to build your list. And that's the traffic you control, traffic you own. Okay. If Zuckerberg shut me down tomorrow, I'd be fine. Okay. If Larry and Sergey wanted to de-index everything we got, we're going to be okay because we've got our customer list. Okay, and that's the focus point. So that is the gist of the first 2 sections of the Traffic Secrets book.
So the great thing is about building your list. And when you actually go to the link that is on the screen here, and I'm gonna make sure your link is correct on the screen, is going to this tab here, which is building your list, right? So go here and so I'm building the list, and it's so funny because learning how to do this is what a lot of entrepreneurs kind of hate to do. And all you're doing is collecting information, right? You're collecting their name, their email, their phone number, and you're being able to get them into your family. So that's why I called it the AI webinar family with the link below, because becoming a part of my Adriane Mayes' actual family is being a part of change. And I want to make sure that if you have questions, if you need help, I'm here. And the way that I'm here is, yes, not just I'm showing you the road to certification for OfferLab. And so I'm going through the trouble of being able to provide this information to you live because I want to show business owners what it takes to get from A to B. Like Russell Brunson said, he's been doing this for 16 years. So if I stop and really just slow down and think about, okay, and God has really been working with me in regards to this and realizing that, hey, Adriane, I started this digital marketing journey full time in 2022. So that's only 3 years, honestly, that I've been doing this actively. And so if I have a billionaire goal, it doesn't happen overnight. Even though you want it to happen all overnight, you have to be consistent. You notice that people will start believing in your process, believing in you when you believe in yourself. So we talked about a lot here today with the review of the Traffic Secrets Masterclass. And if anything, I want you to take action on building your Dream 100 list and joining the OfferLab Road to Certification list, because this video will be provided in the course that's provided when I consult with people. I'm going to give it away. I'm setting up the email list. So the next step for me is so that part of the OfferLab certification is complete. So all of the videos that will be, all the videos from the VIP portion, go to the 4 ways to make money with OfferLab, Hook Story Offer Course, Expert Evolution, Traffic Secrets Masterclass. In my review of those is already found it will be found in my playlist that I have listed there on the screen, as well as found, the course that you actually invest in when you invest with Adriane Mayes for coaching and consulting. So I want you to be able to understand that it takes time for you to get to these different levels. And when you put the time in, one thing I want to make sure I put that StreamYard link. I use StreamYard. StreamYard goes to 3 platforms. It goes to your Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. It can go to TikTok. It can go to LinkedIn. But I have it right now going to 3: Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. So when you go live, if you decide to do live virtual conversations on your own, investing in StreamYard will allow you to do those different platforms and being able to create the AI webinar that you're actually doing. So that is the next step for myself, is creating the AI webinar using Jason Fladian's GoWebinars tactics. And so his plug and play system that you actually is a part of course, the AI Cash Story Dream Funnel, Ultimate Offer. When you do that information, now the next thing you're going to see is the transformation part. So I have my offer. I have the ultimate offer that, helping people in regards to all these different tools that are needed to build your billionaire brand. And so all of that can be found when you go to, once you put your information here, in regards to getting information about Adriane Mayes and the whole process. Then your next step, you'll come to a page where it has the OfferLab AI webinar consulting. So when you come to this page here, make sure that I'm not talking to myself, which I am. Okay, so let me go back and do it again. So you start here, and you put your information in, your name, your first and last name, your email address, and your phone number. Once you finish doing that, it'll actually come to a page here that will actually the OfferLab AI webinar consulting with Adriane Mayes, and goes through the information about Adriane Mayes when you're taking your live conversation, your AI webinars, and OfferLab. Just kind of giving some information if this is for you, and then what you'll get. So going into this, to get started with your certification, which is $0, this is kind of the do-it-yourself method. So this is the first one. It links right to OfferLab. Let me show you when you click on that first button, what'll happen, it'll take you to a screen here, put your name and email address in, and you'll get the 4 simple ways to make money with the OfferLab platform. That means you're in the right place. Okay, so that would be your first step. Now, the second one is if you want to go through the certification, which is right now, all the information that's provided is listed there. You click the second tab. And the second tab will give you right to this screen where you're able to invest into this OfferLab certification, get all of the different parts of the program. And right now I went through the videos here of the actual bonuses or what have you. And so that will allow you to unlock the offer there by going to that next step. So say, for instance, okay, Adriane, I need some help. So a one-on-one consulting with Adriane for 2 hours of time right now is $297. So you would click that next level, and you will be able to get here to be able to invest in that $297. Once that payment is received, you DM Adriane Mayes a copy of this completed receipt. And what I do is then I'm able to set up a time with you to, set time to be able to connect with you. The reason I'm doing it like this is because because I'm doing live virtual conversations, because I'm doing a lot of different things. I don't want people to book an appointment and I have to cancel with you. So DM me there, want a copy of the transaction, like, Adriane, I got started with you. So, I want the one-on-one consultation. When can we connect? So that's the reason I'm doing that in that fashion, instead of sending you right to a calendar, because my time right now is focused on building the billionaire brand, and it's not, I wait on no one. I'm going out here and I'm grinding. And so anyway, the AI Cash Story Ultimate Offer, that's $39.97. That includes the OfferLab certification course, the Passion Over Profits coaching. That includes the AI Freedom Launchpad track. That includes 3 months of Funnel Freedom or Go High Level. It includes Gold webinars. It includes Billie Jean's 10-day AI business plan. It includes a strategy session with me for 2 hours, as well as access to the AI Cash Story coaching and being able to connect and grow and build with your billionaire brand. So you would click there. Now, again, you would actually have the $297 to get started. And when we actually do the onboarding, I will get you into the different parts of the ultimate offer. So you would just do the investment of $297 to start. And then once we actually connect, you send a screenshot to me at the link here or below. And that will allow you to, for me to know that you're ready to get going. So, now we're going to the next part of the process. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video in regards to the review of traffic secrets of my AI Cash Story Dream Team coach, Russell Brunson. What up, though? Adriane Mayes, your AI Cash Story captain. I can, I will, I shall be victorious. What up, though, Detroit? Let's go. Deuces.